this episode, we are deep in the piney woods of East Texas in Davel Crockett National Forest. We want to talk about the Revel superpowers. We want to talk about 2 favorite bedrooms in the Revel, and also about where we're at in our van journey after 3 months of ownership. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, come along. We've had the Revel 3 months, and I guess it's probably time that we do a review around what we think of the Revel after 3 months and actually how it's working out. So you know, it's kind of the good and the bad and the ugly, maybe a little bit, maybe not so much of the bad and the ugly, and a lot of the good. But you know, one of the things that we kind of thought we would do is maybe we'd do a lot of traveling with this thing, and you know, we'd be gone for a little bit of time, and the reality of it is we've only been able to do this on weekends. So, you know, a couple 2-night weekends, 3-night weekends, and there's a couple reasons for it. You know, the first reason is obviously because of Daniel's school schedule. It's really hard to do to travel when he's in school and get him out of school, because he's always got homework and projects, and you know, being in high school, there's a lot of work he's got to do. Also, you know, he's into the water polo, and he likes water polo a lot, you know, water polo season, and he's actually doing well in water polo. He's, you know, a freshman starting on a varsity water polo team here in Dallas, and you know, trying to get all that done. So that's hard to do. You know, the second really disappointing thing I found is, you know, working from the van is really simple. I've tried it a lot, and there's a lot of room. That table works out just fine. You can swing the captain's chair around on the driver's side and work off the table. You can work out the front of the table. You could sit outside in a big chair like I am now, flip the external table down and work. That's the easy part. The hard part, though, is the Wi-Fi is just freaking terrible. And not only Wi-Fi, and I should say Wi-Fi because where we go with the state parks, national parks, and you know, a little bit of boondocking, there's no Wi-Fi. It's the cell connections. So, like for instance, we're out here today at, you know, the Ratcliffe Recreation Area in the Davel Crockett National Forest. I looked at Compendium before I came out here and said we had connectivity, 2 bars of connectivity for T-Mobile and AT&T, which is what I carry. I have AT&T in the van and T-Mobile on my phone. You know, so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe we can come out here Friday morning, and then I can do my team calls and everything from here, because, you know, 2 bars of connectivity should be enough to make phone calls. Right? So, but then, you know, I decided, well, you know, I better not trust it. We've never been out here. I come out here, there is no signal, right? So I got a customer facing role, you know, in technical sales. You know, my schedule's kind of at the mercy of the engineers I help, right? And then, you know, if we tried traveling, you know, I'd have to be in the city somewhere, or a campground, or I'd have to be somewhere during the week where I have connectivity, and then move off of that and go camping. So you know, working from the van right now is pretty much out, unless we try to do something this summer if we end up taking a long trip. You know, we're talking about, I want to go to California, New York, and then, you know, driving in this and stopping and staying somewhere, you know, and staying in hotels and all that with Daniel and stuff like that. But connectivity is terrible, can't work. But you know, another thing is, I'm really glad that we didn't go ahead and go with the mods like I wanted to do first, right? I know I got there was a little grief at the house with my wife, just because, you know, I wanted a mod. She didn't want a mod. She didn't want to spend the money. She kept saying, just wait and see, wait and see, wait and see, you know, and she was right? I mean, we're only traveling on weekends, right? So there's really no reason for the, you know, like a GLS. We both want the GLS in here in the day bed, and we're probably going to get that eventually. But right now, I'm traveling on weekends. We got plenty of room, you know, in the van, you know, and the nice thing is, you know, you're camping, you're supposed to be outside, right? So, you know, you can see we flipped the barn doors open. You know, we got a little area rug here by the van, you know, for the van door. We're sitting here, you know, Becca's over here sitting watching the kids and everybody walk by, you know, and then we spend a lot of time hiking and walking, right? So we find the trails everywhere. You know, what I will do is probably bring a bike. You know, I'm going to probably start bringing a bike. You know, we want to try some kayaking. But Revel's meant to be out. You're meant to be outside, right? So it doesn't really matter what's inside, right? You know, the space inside. We know we got enough room to carry our stuff. We got enough room in the garage, but we're outside, and that's what we really like about it. And that's our camping style, right? Is being outside. So, you know, maybe GLS eventually we get older. Maybe an agile rip kit, sooner or later, but right now the stock Revel on for the weekends is working just fine. And if I had to give some advice to somebody, I wouldn't say go out and mod up right away. I would say just get it, relax, enjoy it, take it around, do something, figure it out, then talk about your mod schedule. I know a lot of people probably mod because they finance it with the Revel, which is fine. But this has worked out well for us. I really enjoy it. One more thing that we really do like about this too is I don't know how to call it, the mobility, the portability of the Revel, right? I mean, it's really easy to pack, get going, get in the road, drive. You're at the campsite, you're setting up at the campsite pretty darn well, pretty quick, pretty easy, right? And that's really enjoyable, having that type of freedom, And then the nice thing too is when you come to a campsite, before we used to come camp, it'd take us 10-15 minutes to get there. You'd have to get the tent set up, we had to get the sleeping bags out, my wife always wanted an air mattress. We'd have to go air up the air mattress, get everything straight, and then worry about cooking and getting a cooking situation, the fire and all that stuff going. Now here we roll in with a Revel, and we're, we're tired, we want to cook, we just plug in the induction cooktop, or lately it's been the Instapot. I mean, the little mini Instapot, that's one thing I would recommend to everybody. If you want to get a mod, get our Instapot, because you could cook everything in that damn Instapot. And if you want to see some good stuff you can cook in Instapot, go watch Wings and Wheels, because that guy Jim, right, he does this Instapot inspiration where he cooks a lot of stuff for his wife in the Instapot, right? So that's that's really cool. Right, so the Instapot's actually worked out pretty well for us right now. We got oatmeal cooking right now. We're going to have some oatmeal in here in a little bit, but some oatmeal and some nuts, and I've got a couple eggs in there. But it's really good, right? So that Instapot's working out well. Every so often we use the induction cooktop, but it's just nice to be, like I said, you're tired, it's dark. You don't have to worry about the tent. You just roll up. You don't even have to plug in. As long as you got some water. Open the doors, unzip it, and then do your thing. And then one more thing I want to add, right? So if the Revel had superpowers, it is the rear barn door. And we got some pictures. I'm going to throw some pictures in here about it. Those doors open, and even all day and sleeping at night, it is absolutely amazing. That's probably the best thing about the Revel. Whoever decided they were going to do that and put that roll screen back there, it's fantastic. Because we're rolling in here, we're back in the woods, we got everything open. It's all good. Got the screen rolled up. Fantastic. And we slept last night, and we left the windows open a little bit, and the screens, and left the back door open, and it was so comfortable sleeping back there. It's absolutely amazing. So like I said, if the Revel had a superpower, it's the ability to open up the rear doors. It's fantastic. So as promised, I thought I'd talk to you about a couple of the rooms in here that we really like and that we use a lot, right? And it turned out to be kind of a surprise. One of them was a surprise. One of them was really a sweet surprise. So, the first thing I kind of want to talk about is the bathroom. So, how often is it the bathroom is like the favorite room in a house or somewhere? But it is what it is, right? So the bathroom is pretty nice. When we first got the Revel, I used the bathroom. We went to I had to go pick it up in Georgia, bring it back. My wife didn't think she's going to use it too much because the bathroom's kind of small. So when we started using it and we started traveling, she thought we needed the space. So we put let me flip the camera around. I'm going to show you here what I'm talking about so you can see. So she thought she needed the space in here for the bathroom. We thought we needed the space for stuff. So as you can see, it's got 2 shelves in here, right? So the shelves are for the Revel comes stock, as you know, with a couple bamboo shelves, right? They come in here, and then they sit in there, and then you got the toilet seat there, right? The Thetford toilet seat. So she thought that we would need the space, so we put the shelves in here and try to use the shelves. Well, that's nice, but the thing is a couple things kind of started happening. In the middle of the night, when you're older, it's really good to just get off that bed, come in here and use the toilet, right? I mean, it really is. And I know I get a little shy talking about a toilet, but it's nice to be able to come in here and use the toilet. You know, I'm 5'10", a little heavy, 250, right? So I fit in here okay, right? No problem. I can fit in here, take care of everything. We're good. You know, even when we travel, right? So when we're driving down the road, and like when I went to Florida, and then you know, coming home from Georgia, and even when Amy took this to Palo Duro, which is probably 5 hours from Dallas, it's nice to be able to stop and then just be able to use the toilet without having to go find the rest station, worry about the rest station being clean. Go in there, you know, have them look at you, see if you need to pay anything, and come in here. So this turned out to be pretty nice. And then one more thing that we really started enjoying, and I know I've enjoyed this, and I had to talk Amy into this, is it's nice being able to take a shower in here. I think so. So you've been out, like today, we've been out hiking all day. It's 80 degrees, humid. You know, we just had a couple days of rain. I had a couple days of rain out here. It's still pretty humid, so I'm sweaty. Got some bug spray. You know, instead of having to take a, you know, wash a rag and wash in a basin, you know, wash our feet and the legs on, it's nice to just be able to get in here and then have some hot water and take a shower, right? I mean, it really is. It works really good. I fit in here. I stand up and take a shower. Amy actually sits. She turns the toilet seat over and around, and she sits in here. When I take it, I turn this whole toilet seat long ways. So, you know, you can take this toilet seat and you can turn it, right? So I fit in a little bit better when I take a shower long ways. So there's a couple ways you can configure the toilet, right? So you can make some room in here. And in the shower, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got this button on the side of it. And the button is kind of a flow stopper. So when you're showering away and you're done, you need to soap up. You just press the button and you're good. So that's really good. And then of course in there, in that little cubby down there, we have our shampoo, you know, soap shampoo combination, and our the toilet for the toilet chemical. We're using the Thetford Aquachem, right, to put some toilet to treat the toilet. And then one more thing that not a lot of people talk about that I think is really nice is, see this here? This is a vent on top of the shower, right? So you push the vent, you push it up. Well, it's open right now. Let's say it's closed, right? So you got it closed. You take it, you push it up. You press the red button there. There's an exhaust fan. So the nice thing is you get good exhaust. And if you look at the bottom of the door, see if you can see it down there. The bottom of the door has the vents. So you get a nice airflow through this thing. So after you take a shower, you could actually just turn on the fan, run the fan, and then it dries everything in here. It dries the shower curtain in here, and it dries the towels out, and it works really, really good. You just got to remember to pull this thing shut before you go down the road or it whistles, right? So that's the one surprise that we really like. We started using it more and more, and I'm actually looking forward to taking a nice warm shower tonight because, you know, I'm hot and sweaty, especially from that hike today, you know, and all that stuff on me. I might take one here when I'm finished. We'll see. And one more thing is, you know, I think I've said this on Facebook before. You got to remember to turn this latch when you're driving down the road and get it closed, because if it's not turned and you're driving down the road, that door swings open. It makes a terrible loud clank when it comes in and hits the other side, right? So let's talk about the next thing that I wanted to talk about real quick, and this is perhaps my favorite, right? So, you know, the nice thing about the Revel is everybody's got the garage. Got the big garage. You can handle all kinds of stuff in here, right? So, you know, it's got enough room for bikes, kayaks, wood, chairs. You know, we never lack for anything in here to use this for, right? So there's plenty of room if we need to. And of course, you see that? That's Becca's bed at night. She sleeps in here underneath. She sleeps in here when we're sleeping, right? So it gives her a place to sleep and she feels comfortable, right? We got the roll screen in the back, right? And I got the roll screen unzipped so you can see out. But what we really like is this bed. So you press the button here, right? Everybody knows this, right? You got the Euroloft Bed. You press the button, drops the bed. So the bed comes down. So the beautiful thing about this is the bed's already made up, right? It's made up, it drops down in place. You know, you get in here, you have to straighten out the bed, the bolster, make sure everything's in here just fine. And then you come up here, as you can see, we've already got sheets. Amy put some sheets on around the bolster we made. She took one of Daniel's old sheets, an old duvet, and then we put some sheets around there. Also, I took an old cargo net from we had from an old Toyota Sienna minivan that we had years ago when Daniel was small, and Michael was still in the house. And I strung that up across here. I mean, it's not very tight, but you know, it's kind of hard to hang the command hooks in here because the bump out's not straight. But we keep it in here, keep an extra blanket. I'll put some clothes or spare clothes in there, right, when we're sleeping. But you just climb up in here, and this thing is just freaking genius, right? So we're on the bed, you know, you got the barn doors wide open. You can see out the back. You can get out the back. We got this roll screen. So if you're not familiar with a roll screen, it's a custom-made screen that rolls down and it zips in. There's a magnetic catch on the side, so you can go in and out if you need to. You can get in the back. But see where the screen is? That actually unzips. And I could zip up a blackout piece, which is like the black part of the curtain, and you know, black it out, or you can leave it down and you get nice airflow coming in through here. And then you got the window in here, and it's really nice. So, you know, the last few times we've been camping, even when I went to Florida, it was pretty warm. Let me get up in here so I can show you kind of what we're talking about. So, see, here is the blackout screen. So I could pull the blackout screen up. See, I'm kind of starting to do that, pull the blackout screen up, and it's kind of a blackout, but we prefer it down so we can get some ventilation. And unzip it and put it down here. But so anyway, the nice thing is having a window here is really nice. And of course, you know, the air conditioner is right up here. You know, it's nice having an air conditioner here in Texas, but we really haven't had to use it very much, because, you know, the best way to sleep in here, I found, especially since it started getting hot, and even we found this in Florida when it's humid, you sleep back in here, you drop the roll screen, right? You drop the blackout so you have the screen, and then you turn on the max air fan, and then you vent all that air, and you pull the air through here, and you get a nice breeze, and oh my God, it is so comfortable sleeping here. You know, I get back in here, heads on, I'm asleep, and then I just end up taking a nap. Here, let me turn the light on here while I'm thinking about it. Make sure I got the light. So, you know, we got a couple lights under there. Typically when we sleep, you know, the big argument is, where do you sleep, right? What's your configuration? I always sleep by the window because I like the breeze, and sometimes Amy wakes up at night and she looks out the window and open up and, you know, see if there's a moon. She likes to look out there. And then, you know, you got the lights out there, but also you notice there's some switches. So one thing I did do, the first thing we did do is the max air fan, remote control. That's remote control to open the max air fan and set the speed of the exhaust fan and how open and closed it is. It comes loose when you get it, right? And so you have to mount it, and then you know there's a mount. There's a mount that you use here, right? It comes out of there and it goes right back in there. So I didn't know where to mount it. So Amy said, well, we just, you know, we're going to use it when we sleep, and it's going to control how comfortable in here. Why don't you just mount it in the back? And I'm like, you know what? That's a great idea. So I got, again, 3M PhD tape. Taped it right up there so we have it. But anyway, so nice thing is you got plugs. We got the light switch for the top, for up here, and then also underneath the bed has some lights, right? And then you also got 12 volt and USB plugs up here, and then I added another command hook just because Amy wanted to have some place to hang her stuff, her phone and stuff like that at night, so she'd have a place to put everything. And we got a RAM track, and so she can put her phone here, listen to her audiobooks or whatever while we're, you know, getting ready for bed. So you know, it works out really good. And then of course the best thing about this is, well, not the best thing, but you know, like I said, we got a dog, and it's a Labradoodle. And if you never had a doodle, you don't know what you're missing, because Labradoodles are like the friendliest dogs in the world, and they just absolutely love people. So Becca, she lays down. She comes here and she lays down right there on the little bed, right there underneath us, you know, and waiting for us in the morning when she hears somebody move, or when you get up at night, you know, she comes right out and you hear her tail bump, 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 bump. So she's really happy to see everybody, so she's close to us. So it works out really good. And then, well, just finished some of Amy's amazing Instapot. A little bit of a Chinese red pepper in there. It was a little spicy. Cleared out my sinuses, which is perfect. That and a little bit of ginger, good for anything that makes me sick from here on out. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You know, we talked a little bit about, you know, what I thought about the van after 3 months. You know, some of the things we probably need to work on and get everything taken care of. You know, I showed you a couple of our favorite spots in the Revel, right? And then we talked a little bit about the hiking of the 4C trail out here while we were here. Anyway, thanks for coming. Revel on.